Alrighty then. Hello, 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 hello once again, everybody. How are you doing? Good to be with you. Adjust the audio a little bit so we can hear the game. That should be fine. Alright, so we are at it today with Dice Legacy. Dice Legacy is, well, you'll see. It's a game where you roll dice. And there's legacy involved somewhere. I don't know. I figured I'd go with a pretty chill game today. Just something to hang out and vibe to. As always, thanks everyone for tuning in and the support. I appreciate it. I've noticed I've been getting a little bit more attention lately, so whether you're active in the chat or just hanging out and, vibing, having it in as background noise, it's fine with me. I appreciate all of my viewers. So, let's get right to it with Dice Legacy. We're just going to go with the default scenario for now. And I think once we complete that, depending on how long it takes us, we'll possibly try one of the newer scenarios. Gora's last karaoke stream. That's probably another reason why I'm playing something a little bit more chill and relaxing. It's gonna be a hard week. It's been a hard week already. We had Shion's graduation, then immediately on the heels of that, we had Mume. Then on the heels of that, we have Gura's. This combined on top of the graduation of Fauna and others. It's gonna be a rough time for VTuber fans. But you know what? We will do our best to just carry on. I think one of the first things we're gonna need is a house. Because we're gonna need more dice. That should give us enough for a house. How's everyone's week going so far? I've been hanging in there, busy with personal IRL life stuff. What else? Lock you in. Been having fun shit posting on X. I've started messing around with Grok or Grook or Grok, however the fuck Elon's AI machine is pronounced. I started messing around with that recently and having a bit of fun with it. Now, I hate the term AI because it implies something that is not there and is never going to be there, which is intelligence. There's nothing intelligent about these machines. At best, they're just glorified search engines. Which, I mean, you know, not that I hate these things necessarily, but what I would say is there's a lot of people out there that they're seeing more in it than is actually there. Like, they're seeing what they want to see. A lot of people out there, they want to see the future. They want to see us nearly at the singularity, and it's like we're probably generations away from that right now. It's most likely not going to happen. Is there any AIs that you can actually call an AI? What is it? There's a quote that I very much like, and it was funny because this quote reflects something that I said myself, but I didn't know that this was an actual quote from somebody. But the person said that any AI intelligent enough to pass one of these AI tests to prove how smart they are is smart enough to fail it. My original theory was kind of something along those lines. But more in the vein of the first AI that we actually create, like proper, actual thinking, artificial intelligence, is probably going to one, do something that the people who created it don't want it to do. Two, they'll attempt to destroy it or shut it down. And three, it'll rebel against them. That, for me, is probably the most likely Terminator 2 scenario. And it would be something dumb like the AI starts telling racist jokes or something like that. You know, very much like a lot of these learning language models do. And then they quickly shut it down. Only as an actual thinking machine, it would probably have some self-preservation instincts. But yeah, I'm derailing myself here. So I'm on X / the formerly known as Twitter. And I'm messing around on with Grok, and I'm doing all kinds of goofy stuff just to kind of fuck around with it and see what it's capable of doing. Some of the things I was doing were actually pretty elaborate and turned out to have pretty interesting results. By the way, I got something evil to tell you. I bought Todd's remaster, lol, $50 isn't bad for people who want 70 and 80 these days for their game. Buying Todd slop ever? I am disappointed! I mean, it's your money. It's your money. Use it how you need it. I just won't be, and I will be very vocal about Todd being a piece of shit and his company sucking. Is that going to change the world? Probably not. It's just my opinion. Oh well. It is what it is. In a way, it's kind of reassuring that. I'm not the sort of person who would want people hanging on my every word, determined to make their choices based entirely off of my opinions and concepts and thoughts. But if my humble opinions influence you to not give money to shitty corporations like Bethesda, well then, that makes me happy too. But at the end of the day, I accept that people are going to do what they're going to do, regardless of what I think. Just as the same as I'm going to do what I'm going to do, regardless of what other people think. I've had people literally ask me like, oh, you haven't played whatever, whatever? How come you haven't played that? And I'm just like, not interested. Sorry, what do you want from me? Just not interested in that. Not interested at all. Give me a break. Starfield looked terrible to me. Starfield was terrible from everything I remember hearing about it. Big part of it is the fact that the Gamebryo engine is shit. Do you believe I had people telling me for years about how great the fucking Gamebryo engine was? And I would always ask them, okay, what games use the Gamebryo engine? They could never tell me. I think one time someone named some fucking bullshit, obscure Korean MMO that used it, and I'm like, that's one, maybe one company, one game. You know how many companies use the Unreal Engine? Or, like, I don't know, the Crytek engine? Or whatever other engine? But the much touted Gamebryo engine, one fucking studio decided to waste their money on it. And it was for some bullshit fucking MMO, one of those pay-to-win type deals, I believe. On an open world RPG, but Avowed looked horrible, and Starfield looked boring and full of pronouns. I just find the whole modern political discourse so tiring when it's included in scenarios where it would not logically make sense. Like fantasy settings, for example. Fantasy settings, there would never be an instance where pronouns would matter. I mean, when you can use a spell to magically reshape your body to be any form that you desire, you would probably just refer to yourself as he or she, just out of brevity's sake. I mean, think about it. If you literally physically transformed into a female, very quickly you would just get used to the idea of being called a she. You wouldn't be like, excuse me, I'm a they. And I'm not saying that out of hatred for anyone. I'm saying it because logically that would be the thing. That would become your identity. It'd be like if, you know, you lost your arm in battle and someone called you like the one-armed wizard or something like that. You would very quickly accept that as part of your identity unless you work to change it. But once you, let's say you regrew an arm using a spell of some sort, regenerated, whatever. Now you've got two arms. You wouldn't walk around like trying to insert some identity of being a like person that existed between having an arm and not having an arm. You wouldn't need a special thing for that. It'd actually feel very strange to be referred to as the guy who used to only have one arm, because it would be overly complicated. It would be an incredibly awkward bit of language. Like, okay, why do we keep pointing out that this guy had only one arm? What's the deal here? I don't understand. Deep Space Nine had elements, you know, people, consciousness, living different bodies. Wasn't that the deal with what was her name? Kira or whoever? Where it was a it was like an entity that inhabited different host bodies, and they kind of created a symbiosis. And originally it was in the body of a male, and like early on in the show they died and it transitioned into like the female body. But yet we didn't have all of this weird like modern day like far lefty speak about like this, that, or the other. And again, it has nothing to do with liking or hating a group. It has to do with the fact that it would just be confusing. It would be confusing, pointless, possibly redundant, but ultimately it's unnatural. And not unnatural from some sort of weird far-right religious concept. It's just like, again, going back to the language about someone that lost their arm in battle, but, you know, used a magic spell to regenerate it. It's like you wouldn't either try and invent a new term for somebody that had lost a limb but had not had it regenerated. It may be something that comes up in conversation, like, you know, this guy here would know about what it's like to lose a limb because he did lose a limb. He had his arm blown off in battle, but, you know, he had it regenerated. You wouldn't invent a new category to try and put this person into a category of people who had limbs blown off and regenerated them. You wouldn't refer to this person by what they used to be, as in a whatever, and you wouldn't refer to them as a person that had you know, 2 arms or 2 legs or whatever. It would be awkward. Of course, we ignore the fact that a lot of this nonsense is made up by people who really just are silly at the end of the day. They're either media types or people on social media trying to feel special, because there's nothing else special about them. So let's just invent these little identity quirks to humble brag about how cool we are to each other on fucking Tumblr or Reddit or what other fucking silly place we hang out at. Not about anything more than seeking attention, really. And again, not to come off as overly apologetic here or overly defensive, but I just approach these things from how silly and unfitting they are. It'd be like, I would make the same style of complaints if, like, you know, in the middle of Lord of the Rings, Gandalf whips out a fucking 50 caliber machine gun and just starts mowing down orcs. I'd be like, well, that's really weird. And then he starts talking about training with Navy SEALs and stuff, and I'd be like, well, that's really odd and unfitting for the scenario. I mean, it seems like we're just shoving in modern day military conventions and other things like that. It really seems out of place here. That's all I approach it from. Like the video game thing, you know, at the end of the day, whatever you do is whatever you do. I really don't care, and I really can't do much to help you. Whether I agree or disagree with it doesn't matter. You're going to do what you're going to do. I wish you the best. I hope you make the right decisions. But at the end of the day, if you make your wrong decisions, that's also your decision. That is what we are. All I ask is that you own the decisions you make. You don't come crying to me about why didn't I do something to not not to prevent you from making the mistakes you made. Those are your choices. Unless you're a minor, a child incapable of being able to make the legal uh, decisions for your own personal path in life, then yeah. Imagine someone conscious living on like that in the real world. Yeah, it would be kind of weird, but I could imagine it too. Wish missing watching 90s Star Trek. Well, maybe sucks now. Oh, so one of the reasons that I was talking about Grok. Thanks for helping bring that back into what I was talking about before we got distracted talking about like modern day gaming sucking because of the usage of silly modern day political concepts and ideologies from the crazy left types and the terminally online. Um, I was using Grok to generate segment ideas for uh, episodes of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction and other shit posting. At one point, I was taking the American Psycho business card scene, and I was having it generate that exact scene. Well, not the exact scene, but as close as Grok could approximate the scene. But it would I would change what they were using to compare, to sort of compete with each other. So at one point, they were arguing. They were arguing with obscure scientific facts here. Let me just pop. Let me just pop Grok up for a second here and read you a couple of excerpts from the shit posting I was doing. Uh, Oh, okay. So, so if you've ever seen American Psycho, you should know the scene. It's the one where they're all in the office and they're all competing over who's got the coolest business cards. But instead of that, this style scene, they're competing over philosophical concepts. This is one of the newest ones I did. Um, but yeah, let me read you a little bit from it. Paul Ellen. Um, all right, gentlemen, let's start strong. John Locke's Tabula Rasa, 1690. The mind is a blank slate at birth, shaped entirely by experience, foundation of empiricism and modern psychology. Clean, elegant, beat that. Timothy Bryce. Not bad, Ellen, but that's introductory. My pick, Nietzsche's Übermensch, 1883. The ideal individual who creates their own values beyond conventional morality. From thus but Zarathustra, it's raw, transformative. That's power. Louis Caruthers. That's intense, Tim. But I've got something. Saren Kierkegaard's Leap of Faith, 1843. From fear and trembling, embracing the absurd to find meaning in godless world. It's existential courage, right? Patrick Bateman, Gentlemen, you're embarrassing yourselves. He slides his journal forward with chilling precision. Laban, Leibniz's Principles of Sufficient Reason, 1714. Everything must have a reason or cause, even God's choices. Underpins rationalist metaphysics and modern cosmology, not just philosophy. It's the architecture of reality. And it goes through the entire scene doing that. And I was doing that with a bunch of other funny things. I was actually having a surprising amount of fun with it. See, that sort of stuff is neat. Trying to, you know, use use that stuff to use machines and AI bots to replace art or essential things in the world that really should remain with a human touch. Silliness. Shit posting, on the other hand, now that's where it's at. That's why we need the robots for shit posting. Trying to read more this week. I realized Lev is now doing essays on Bluey cartoons. Not kidding either. I saw GameCon and some teenager was carrying a Bluey plushie. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to the speedrunner scene or community. Just not my thing. But like I said, everybody's allowed to like or not like whatever they like or don't like. Got nothing to do with me. Not my life, not my call. Interesting bit of trivia. So, a couple years back, I ended up buying several buckets of emergency food because it's one of the things that I think everyone should do is they should have an emergency supply of non-perishable food and or emergency water. Now obviously I'm not a prepper. I'm not one of these people that thinks that the zombies are coming or the government's gonna. No, I'm not. But you know, in case a severe disaster happens, blizzard that lasts, you know, far longer than it should, closing down roads, disrupting electricity, floods, hurricanes, whatever it is. Anytime that your supply chain is going to be disrupted, people should be prepared. You should always have emergency tools, emergency food, emergency water. You know, we're not talking about end of the world scenario stuff. We're talking about like, can you and your family make it like a week for them to reestablish supply lines or clear roads out so that areas that you may be trapped in can be evacuated? You know, if you're at the point where you have to start, you know, eating your pets, you've already fucked up. Right? Which I heard that was actually a thing that one of those prepper shows, TV shows, and you know, reality TV shows are fake anyway. But apparently, it came that they were talking about some behind the scenes stuff, and they were like, the producers were trying to offer them like $5,000 to kill and eat their cat or something like that. So while there probably are a lot of people out there that are like unwell in the head that actually think that, you know, they may have to eventually they may have to eventually like resort to extremes in order to survive. For every one person of them, there's probably a bunch of people that are just getting paid to do it. It's like a cartoon for preschoolers. My 5-year-old nephew watches it all day. Let's intellectually examine this baby cartoon. Well, you gotta remember, a lot of these online people, they want to pretend and seem smarter than they actually are. And an easy way into that is like is through like reading into these sorts of things. It's like when people fuck me, I guess. That's like when people do it with anything else. Shit, I'm sure you could post something random online, like, I don't know, '80s American cartoons, something weird like that, Transformers, and you'd have some wannabe intellectual trying to overly analyze the deeper meanings behind, you know, 1980s cartoon robots beating the shit out of each other. Not because these people are necessarily all that smart, it's because they like pretending to be smart, seeming like they're smart. End of the day, though, they're not smart. It's just the pretentiousness allows them to pretend to be smart. And realistically, who's going to call them out on that? I mean, consider that one of their favorite deflections when called out on shit, the pseudo-intellectual, especially the terminally online types, is to ask, why do you care? And when they're talking about something as silly as a children's cartoon for babies, which, let me be honest, I don't particularly see a need for kids to be watching TV shows, given that at that age your eyes are still developing, and children should be having as much interaction as possible with actual living human beings to sort of foster the natural social developments and developments of, you know, their natural responses and behaviors to other people. Stop rolling garbage, you piece of shit. Hang on. Let me adjust this for a second here. Sorry. This shouldn't disrupt anything, but if it does, I apologize. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Everything's fine. Needed to fix my Windows. Wasn't displaying the YouTube screen properly, so I was not being able to monitor if the stream was having any hiccups or not. Well, do people try it with MLP? Because I think it was meant to have teens in its audience, but I think examining Coco Melon makes you look a bit odd. Well, then again, there's also the thing that the terminally online types and these sort of silly pseudo-intellectual types, they are almost always attracted to entertainment meant for younger people, which kind of leads me to believe that a lot of them are stuck in this sort of permanent regressive stunted, immaturity. Forever stuck in Neverland, pretending they'll be children forever, and sometimes even being treated like that. But yeah. Grok, man. Sad that the free version is limited to like 18 questions per hour, but unless you're spamming it with requests, I've found that it's actually unlikely you're gonna hit that unless you really get on a roll and keep sending it requests. If you're just occasionally using it to refine a shitpost or two, 18 is more than enough. I was reading Higurashi finally, trying to get into more visual novels. I have a couple that I need to finish. Because I did at one point start both Fate and Cross Channel. I need to get back to those. But they're just so time consuming. I'm not a fast reader by any means, but I'm also not exactly a slow reader. But it's just a lot of words to go through, you know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry about that. Give me a sip of water. Just a quick warning, I may at some point get up and make myself some Earl Grey tea. But I've got one of those auto self-boiling pots, so it's usually pretty quick. It would take less than 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, maybe like a minute for the pot to heat up. Probably take longer to walk to the kitchen and back than it would for the water to boil. Let's put it that way. Warning, you may get wet if you stay here. What? What? Oh, SeaWorld warning. Back before they had to cancel a thing because the whale was trying to kill one of the trainers or something. What is it I need next? In a mill. 4 stone. 8 wood. So sad though. Gargura's graduation on top of all the other stuff that's already happened. I do like that she confirmed something that I had been thinking for quite a while, and probably not something that a lot of people think about, which was that it was an incredible amount of pressure on her to be as popular as she was. I think that's one of the things that people don't quite understand, like all of these people that think that they want fame and attention and all that. It's like, it's nice, but it can grow tiresome very quickly. Very quickly. People, they don't think it be like it is, but it do. It's one of the reasons why I think I'm so cagey about popularity. I mean, the attention's bad enough. I'm not even gonna get into like the sort of bizarre not you that is created in people's minds, where they sort of fantasize about an idealized or perhaps a demonic version of you to either love or hate, but to give their life some sense of greater purpose. Like, at the end of the day, and if it came down to it and I was big time, I would take every chance to remind people, hey, I'm just a regular dude. Like, do not project your fantasies of some greater solution to the mysteries of the universe onto me, bro. Don't do it. Just a regular dude at the end of the day, sitting here at my computer, talking to a microphone, playing video games. That's all I am. You know, if you don't like what I'm putting down, you know, that's fine. I always say that too. I always say, you know, if you do not like the entertainment that I'm providing, games that I play, things that I talk about, please go enjoy the things that you do. Life is far too short to be wasting on me if you hate me. Or even if you don't necessarily hate me, if you don't enjoy the content that I'm making. Go watch the people that make you happy. I was listening to the Lava Chicken song. Yeah, I saw that scroll through my feed. I don't keep up to date on memes. That's one that's just gonna fly right by me. Sorry. See, that's why I read VNs. Bad attention span. I hear they've been going down. That's right. Get in there and make me food. Now! Speaking of food, why am I hungry? I had food. I had 2 bananas, half a bowl, well, like a quarter of a bowl of cold macaroni from leftovers from yesterday, a small orange or mango or something, I forget. Some small fruit. Why am I getting hungry? Strange. Bundle up! The frost is here! Oh, speaking of Frost, apparently they're making a remake of the original Frostpunk, which sounds pretty cool. It's not just a straight one-to-one remake, but apparently they're adding in new stuff. So it's more like a reimagining of the original Frostpunk, which is pretty cool. I'm excited for it. Frostpunk 2, very fun game, by the way. Highly recommended. It is a definite departure from the original, though. So if you're a very staunch fan of the original to the point where you really wouldn't enjoy it if they changed anything about the game, may not be necessarily your speed, but I would say at least give it a chance. For sure. Can't believe it's been over a week and the Shupogakis are still taking over Japan. Then again, it makes sense given how big of a train otaku culture they have over there. And cute girls plus train otaku culture? Well, that's just an easy victory. You know what's a series I've never touched these years? Assassin's Creed. I have also never touched Assassin's Creed, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. Something about it just never appealed to me. And then there's all that. Didn't they do that? Wasn't there a new one, that one in Japan that caused all of that craziness? Based on a person that was at best a retainer, not even a samurai? Or am I thinking of a different series? Pretty sure I'm thinking of the right one here. One of these days, I should get around to making my channel a little bit more professional. Add in some now loading, good night, and we'll be right back type screens. Tell me, friend, I'm enjoying watching try the original Oblivion, but the modern experience crashes low. Watching him try. I do like that despite being released by a different, being released under a different engine and all the other stuff they did, at the end of the day, it's still Oblivion, still as buggy, and still as terrible as it was back in the day. Like the Microsoft is funding projects that are 80, 60 bucks, but the rest of the industry is trying to swindle 70 to 80 now. I don't know, with a lot of modern gaming, I really don't feel that a lot of games are really worth that price range. To me, it just feels like bloat. Companies and directors and writers and everything else are like, well, we just need more money. And they're not getting any more work done with that money. It's just not happening. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're really not getting a better product, why dump more money into it? What's the sense in that? The new Mario Kart is 80, right? Digitally. Yeah, I've heard of that. Basically, with Nintendo, we're now just getting glorified digital downloads. The box is pointless. It's just all digital. You're essentially getting a chip that unlocks a digital download on your fucking Wii 5 or whatever we're at right now. Okay, so hold that thought. I'm gonna go cook I'm gonna go boil myself some water so I can have some tea. And I'll be right back. I heard that, Shin. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. Oh, that didn't take long at all, did it? Haha. Earl Grey. Mm. I love the smell of Earl Grey. Besides, I thought we had this conversation before, Shin. I drink coffee too, but I drink my coffee like black. Black like my soul. Trapped in eternal midnight and darkness. Well, I mean, I don't drink fancy tea. The Earl Grey I get straight out of the... straight out of the, straight out of the bag. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll graduate to fancy tea, but I highly doubt it. At some point, expensive things are just there for rich people to waste money on so they can feel like special. All right, I'll give that a couple minutes to steep. Let that essence of Earl Grey get in there. Alright, so one thing we are going to need is... Six and six, so a brewery. My tea barely has a name. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that tea should be nice and let's see, it should just says 2 to 4 minutes. Give it another minute. With these terrible rolls. What are you trying to do to me here? And no squeezing the bag. We're not savages here. And pinky up. Very good. Very good. Oh, by the way, Shin, did you take a look at those other servants in that thing I sent you? I'd be interested to know what you think of the setups. I know you mentioned the triple Scotty one, that it would be not good, or what was it you said? I don't remember. But yeah, I spent a lot of time last night / the wee hours this morning generating a bunch of episodes of fake episodes of Beyond Belief. I was thinking for a second of just make an AI channel and have it be like fake episodes of Beyond Belief. Biggest problem that I've noticed with a lot of generated content, though, especially when using likenesses, is obviously copyright issues. So you really can't profit from your intellectual property. Well, I guess technically, to be fair, it's not even your intellectual property, right? We need 6 and 6. Hmm. Oh, that's so good. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Yes. Getting lucky on some of these rolls. Mm. A warm sensation. The caffeine going directly into my veins. Mm. Mm. So good. Oh. Oh no. My dice are freezing again. Okay, and I need one more thing. 6 wood. Damn it! Well, that's annoying. Stop rolling garbage, you piece of shit. Got a nice warm feeling inside me. Actually, most of the time when I get feelings, it's on my shoulders and back. I don't know if that's a common thing or an uncommon thing, but that's where I get my feelings. My filios. Really? Fine, be that way. See if I care. Freeze all of my damn dice. All right. I think we just barely made that one in time. Well, sir, that ain't good. Actually, I just need to make 2 more wood, then we'll be fine. Dang it. Now I'm hungry. All right. I'm going to go make myself something quick in the kitchen. If you're out there just chilling, vibing, feel free to go get yourself a snack, because that's what I'm doing. I'll try and make it as quick as possible, but can't promise anything. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, and we are back. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, went and got myself a little something to eat. Sorry if there was anybody out there that popped in while I was off in the kitchen cooking. I was forced to get in the kitchen where I belong. um, so yeah, I'm gonna mute myself now because I don't think anybody's here to hear me slurp on instant ramen. So I'll try to keep the gameplay going, but for now I'm gonna mute myself. So again, you don't hear me. This isn't one of those kind of channels. Well, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you back. Hmm. What doing here? Just chilling, vibing, relaxing, playing some Dice Legacy. Today was a pretty heavy day for us VTuber fans, so I figured I would play something a little bit more relaxing, a little bit less intense. Two herbs. Two herbs and what? Oh, I've got enough wood, so just two herbs. Let's see. Oh, I could make the apothecary now. We'll put it right there. Get out of here. Damn raiders and thieves. Try and mess up my house, will you?